This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finale and the great conclusion to the Rosetta space probe and Philae...
Crash lander?
Crash lander. Comet dust roller. Rosetta is a space probe built by the European Space Agency, launched on March 2nd, 2004, along with Philae, a lander module, which was destined to land on the comet and do some science. And they would be chasing and landing Comet 67P Churyumov Gerasimenko. And let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, chasing a comet down and then landing on it is extremely hard work and engineering.
I just keep hearing the song Running Down a Dream.
Come here. You have magic treasure in the form of science data and...
Cotton candy?
You have primordial dust. Get back here.
Origins.
The answers to our origins rest within you. 67P.
Thankfully it wasn't 68. We heard enough of that with the TX1.
Okay, so yeah, the European Space Agency, which was made up of a bunch of countries making up an eclectic space agency. Whereas, the United States has NASA, which is a American-German space program. So yeah, on August 6th, 2014, the spacecraft reached the comet and performed a series of maneuvers to be captured in its orbit. All right, so, and yeah, I remember this. On November 12th, the lander module performed the first successful landing on a comet. Asterisk, though its battery power ran out 2 days later. This silence you hear right now is intended.
You know a woman was not on that mission packing for that trip.
Doesn't sound like a man was either. Or everybody just forgot batteries.
Why would you send that thing with no batteries?
Maybe the Energizer Bunny is allergic to comet dust.
Maybe it's a different kind of dust, different kind of charge. Maybe one charges things up and one drains the battery. So no matter what, it wouldn't hold a charge.
You're saying it wouldn't hold a charge so the battery was faulty? This is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
No, what I'm saying is like, what happens if we don't have those kind of parts? Because everything has like a positive and a negative or a neutral charge in space. Everything's positive, negative, neutral. So what happens if whatever we had on him to be rechargeable needed a different kind of charge?
Oh, like if he was solar powered and the 2 days of battery was just the emergency backup.
Right, because the energy coming in, say it was of a neutral charge, so it couldn't charge up his panels or whatever. I don't know what was on him. Maybe the sunlight's not hitting that thing the same way. Maybe it's going through like a big cloud and it didn't charge up the same. I don't know. Now it just looks like the Loch Ness Monster, so I'll stop talking. But I think I'm right.
Yes, there are many possibilities. But I like to think of the meeting. They're all sitting around like, okay, dudes, we just went 10 years to get here. We took 10 years to get here. We're landing this Comet Lander module. How many days of backup battery do you think we need? And then someone was like, 1. They're like, wait, that sounds good, but let's double that. 2 days of battery power. So that way if something goes wrong, and on this comet that is spinning around like a giant bullet duck hammer at like 60,000 miles an hour, or whatever it is, that the solar panels might not open properly. It might get covered in this sludgy pre-dinosaur dust comet thing.
Because some of the comets, they're dark. There's no glow. Like some of the asteroids, maybe whatever was on it is like it absorbs where it couldn't get charged to its panel.
Yeah. We say wrote stories about that.
I didn't follow this thing up at all. I was sick of it the first night. It ran out of batteries.
Communications with Philae were briefly restored in June and July 2015. Enough to get the important science done. But due to diminishing solar power, Rosetta's communications module with the lander was turned off on 27 July 2016. As of 2016, the mission continues to return data from the spacecraft in orbit. So like you were saying, it's positive and negative. So like the Rosetta was a positive and the Philae was a negative. And you combine those two and it's just a big win for the European Space Agency and space agencies everywhere.
Yeah, big win. Big win.
Asterisk.
Yeah, because they couldn't have that lander driving around there going, ooh, data, like Curiosity is in the dirt at Mars. They can't have months and months of this data coming out.
And think about what if it found primordial worms on a comet. Then people would be so scared of comets.
Yeah, they wouldn't like that. Or what happens if it is like a big kitty box? People are not going to like big kitty boxes. Like full of,
Especially not ones that can flatten cities.
Yeah, no.
So it was tragic. And little children everywhere who had been rooting for that cartoonish lander were heartbroken and learning to cry for the first or second time. And then what happened?
Dun, dun, dun. I'm just looking at Philae down there again.
Will you read the science, please?
Yes, I will. Rosetta's missing Philae probe found in dark crack on comet.
Oh, what luck. I never guessed that he was stuck in a crack, especially a dark one. Of all the places I guessed that he could be lost in the Starbucks there, and its Wi-Fi wouldn't connect with our space programs. Or he was stuck under an awning. I don't know if anybody lives on Rosetta, but if they did, they might have an awning, that hangs over the porch. So he was under the awning, maybe even under the hammock. I never guessed a dark crack.
No, I never guessed a dark crack on a comet. No.
But the good thing is, kids, Philae taught us a very important lesson that has stood the test of time. In almost every situation, whether you're on fire or you're landing on a comet, stop, drop, and roll, or bounce. That's what Philae did.
Duck and cover. Duck and cover.
Duck and cover. That's
Yeah.
exactly covered by crack.
Duck
You're
and
amazing
cover.
at this.
Well, it's just they spell it out right there. It's a duck, and it's under the cover of the duck. So.
Oh my God, hold on a second. I never even realized. So yeah, this means they found Philae.
Yeah.
Found him. That's so great.
They found Phil. Yeah, he's hiding in a crack.
That's so great. So now Philae and Rosetta are going to hook back up, talk for weeks probably. Because you know how, like, if you got a good friend you haven't seen in a while, you guys get back together. You're like, hey, and you get all chatty. That's what they're going to do probably for weeks, months.
Yeah, I don't know. How's he have enough battery to do that?
Oh, yeah. But isn't he getting some sunlight in that crack? Oh, he's in a
Usually-
crack!
Yeah, usually.
Oh, no. There's no sunlight getting in there.
Well, it's a crack, so some light's getting in. Just a little.
Yeah, depending on which way it's turned or
God.
rotated.
Oh my God! Rotate your crack.
The comet, like Philae, and like Rosetta back. Wow, high-resolution cameras on European Space Agency's Rosetta spacecraft. I found space probe Philae, which landed on a comet nearly 2 years ago. Only to lose power because, this is great, what reason did they give? Oh, it's solar-driven batteries. We're in the shade. And usually, if you're in the shade, you're made. Oh man, I'm in the shade. I'm made in the shade. Here's I'm really screwed in the shade. Oh, it's like hell for Philae.
Yeah.
He lives off light. He got the dark crack of darkness.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I wonder if it smells bad in there.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Sometimes scientists have fragile egos.
Yeah.
So let's remind them that when Philae landed on the comet in November 2014, in what was considered a remarkable feat of precision space travel, but the meter-sized probe bounced several times before getting stuck against a cliff wall. Wait, what? There's a big difference between being stuck against a cliff wall. Like, for example, I could press you up against a cliff and give you a good kiss, but could I press you up against a dark crack and give a good...
That's what I remember was that, you know, that picture where it looks like the duck's head is down. That was the wall that he was up against. Was that, you know? And now they're saying, what, did he fall? I guess he fell because now they have like an X-ray image of him, like somebody swallowed a, you know, like a thing from a jack set or like a car, and then they go to an X-ray. That's what they did to the comet to find out where Philae was. They X-rayed him, and they're like, oh, there he is. It's all lit up against the wall, not a crack.
I guess, and I'm learning for the first time that here they had on this comet, I guess, an ancient civilization that only had the ruins of their buildings and homes standing, so that when Philae hit, it bounced into one of those homes or buildings walls, and then the building had been torn, so there was like a crack where the wall was, right? Why didn't they give us any pictures? Philae did not have as much time as they had hoped for experiments. Information it has collected is reshaping. Thinking about comets and how much battery power to actually put on them. And the project has helped in designing future missions. Yeah, like, hey man, way more batteries next time.
At least send some mice up there so they can run in a hamster wheel and get...
Speaking of hamster's wheel, this wonderful news means that we now have the missing ground dash truth. The missing ground dash truth. Information needed to put Philae's 3 days of science into proper context. Now that we know that ground actually is, ESA's Rosetta project scientist Matt Taylor said in a statement, Matt's a snappy dresser.
Oh,
Seems like a decent guy to have a pint with.
ground truth.
Ground truth.
Ground truth.
It's like ground beef.
But it's truth.
Ground.
Ground truth. There
Into a paste of
needed to put Philae's 3 days of science into proper context.
ground truth.
Now that we know where the ground actually is.
Into a pink paste that is easily digestible by consumers. Ground truth.
Ground truth.
Scientists expect to get a final glimpse of Philae later this month. Oh, that's weird. But when Rosetta snapped some pictures during close flybys, dun dun dun, and here's the doom, man. Farewell, Rosetta. Just like the Wookiee, he's not getting a medal, and then unlike the Wookiees, she's getting crashed into the comet.
Yeah, that's totally rude. Space mission to end on collision course with Comet. Why has everything got to be on a collision course? Oh, I told you about the dark crack, right?
Stay cool. This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finale and the great conclusion to the Rosetta space probe and Philae
Crash lander?
Crash lander comet dust roller. Rosetta is a space probe built by the European Space Agency, launched on March 2nd, 2004, along with Philae, a lander module, which was destined to land on the comet and do some science. And they would be chasing and landing Comet 67P Churyumov Gerasimenko. And let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, chasing a comet down and then landing on him is extremely hard work and engineering.
I just keep hearing the song Running Down a Dream.
Come here. You have magic treasure in the form of science data, and
Cotton candy?
you have primordial dust. Get back here.
Origins.
The answers to our origins rest within you. 67P.
Thankfully it wasn't 68. We heard enough of that with the TX one.
Okay, so yeah, the European Space Agency, which was made up of a bunch of countries making up an eclectic space agency, whereas, the United States has NASA, which is a American, German space program. So yeah, on August 6th, 2014, the spacecraft reached the comet and performed a series of maneuvers to be captured in its orbit. All right, so, and yeah,